Welcome to our program on Kardec Radio.
Hello, friends. Welcome to Kardec Radio, to our daily prayer on this wonderful Friday. I'm Alba Morales, live from Annapolis, Maryland. As every Friday, as usual, let us start by connecting with divinity. Let us start by relaxing our minds, our souls, and prepare for the weekend. So hello, Daniel, and hello, everyone that is here. Thank you for coming to this virtual space. Let us start by taking a relaxing position, yet attentive, and closing our eyes. And let us feel how the love of God, that is like the tender love of a mother or a father, it is enveloping us and is providing us with a safe and secure environment, and is helping us to feel more attuned, more connected, more of his, of her creation. And let us all together, in one thought, in one mind, say, Dear Father, Mother God, we are here praising you, praising your creation, praising because we have one more day of life, because we are healthy and we have food in our table. We are praising you for all the blessings of this day, blessings that we can even count, blessings that we are not aware of, but we know that you are there, caring for us, taking care of our difficulties, our concerns, our troubles. We are reaching out to you today to pray, to be more attuned with you, to nurture our spirit, to create a loving and caring psychosphere in the place in which we are currently are. We are reaching out to you, Father, because we can't not live without the food for the soul. We are, moreover, spiritual beings, more than a physical beings. So we are grateful for your presence here tonight, and we ask you, help us to open up our heart and our mind to the message, to the prayer, to this moment, to receive the benefits of the prayer. Thank you, and so be it. Hello, friends. Again, thank you for being here on this Friday afternoon. Around here in Annapolis, Maryland, is very, very, very windy. We don't know how it's in other places. However, it's a beautiful temperature because the spring is here. And we brought, hold on a second, we're going to share. We brought to you some highlights from chapter 17 from the book Child of God by Joanna de Angelis. Thinking about the spring, thinking about the renewal of Mother Nature and how after something is seemingly dry, all of a sudden kind of flourish. It happens the same with us, right? Sometimes we feel like we are working very hard, we are doing a lot of things for our improvement, and we don't see it. So we're bringing these highlights from the chapter God Knows, chapter 17 from the book Child of God, to give us hope, to give us encouragement. We just took some highlights, as we mentioned before, because the chapters in Child of God, although it's a small book, chapters are a little bit longer. So hopefully the highlights are like a good pills for our spirit. Let us start. Joanna says that there are different moments in your life when engrossed in problems, you feel ignored and think nobody knows the troubles you bear. God knows. Sometimes you may feel desperately unhappy and totally deserted. Still, you will not be alone. God knows the reason of your suffering. And as spiritists, we know that the suffering and the pain and troubles and trials in life, they are not a punishment or they are not random situations in life. Everything has a cause and therefore everything has an effect. So all of our actions, thought, and words, we are like sending this into the world, and therefore is going to come back as a boomerang to ourselves in the same way, in actions, in thoughts, or in words. And if we were ignorant in the past because we didn't know better, these situations will come back to us as a educational system for our spirit to learn the lesson that we need to learn. So sometimes we are desperate, unhappy. We feel like no one is with us. But God knows the reason of this suffering. And if we are right now going through a moment of suffering, it doesn't make good trying to think why I'm going through this situation. But what is going to help us to go through and to provide us with some comfort and healing is thinking that God, the Creator, knows why we are there, why it's important to be there, and it is with us. When in deep anxiety and abused and detracted by slander, you wish to abandon your task, put your faith in God, and wait. God knows why this must be so. Remember again, in Spiritism, we know the more we want our moral progress and evolution, the more we want to go up and higher because we are in this level of planet Earth. There are some spiritual entities that they don't want us to progress, either because we hurt them in the past, in previous existence, or because they don't want the moral progress of the humans on planet Earth. So the more we try, they also try to put some obstacles and to give us a hard time. But we need to keep going in faith and wait in serenity. Surprised by a cruel fate which thwarts your most cherished plans, do not give yourself up to revolt and do not despair. God knows what is best for you. And this reminds us about our grandmother. She used to say that sometimes the answer of God is not. That sometimes we're having these great plans, we are planning this wonderful trip, this wonderful vacation, and all of a sudden it doesn't happen. So for so many reasons, and we feel frustrated and defeated, etc. And this is just a silly example of why this is not happening to me. I'm working so hard, but sometimes by not going to that vacation, God is actually protecting us from something worse that could happen to us. And we don't know of all the dangers that we are being protected in a day-to-day basis. Those are the blessings that we don't know because we don't see it. We are like a little children by the hands of God, so we don't see it later in life. When we are more mature, spiritually speaking, we will see all His grace or her grace. But as of right now, we don't. So it's up to us just to trust and not to become rebellious. Because when we are rebel against the loves of God, we are actually closing ourselves to the help from the higher spirits. We are closing ourselves to the assistance, to the inspiration, to the guidance. Uh, in other words, the negative consequence would be for us that we are not getting that good advice or good inspiration or the assistance and help from the high evolved spirits, that they are the diligent workers of God. Joanna de Angelis says that God knows what is best for you. As a good father, as a good mother, as a good guardian, as a good adult that's taking care of a little child, we do things, right, that they don't like, and they cry, and they do tantrums. But that's the best for them. It's the same situation in our relationship with God. Joanna continues saying that crucified by a disease of an unknown cause, bow your head in prayer and wait a little more. God knows your disease is a path for future happiness. God knows everything. So if you are with us, praying with us tonight, and you are ill, and you are suffering from a disease that it hasn't been diagnosed, and even though, and you feel tired of being sick or depending of others, just wait a little more. Be patient with yourself. Have grace with yourself. The illness, the disease, it is a blessing in disguise. It is easy to say, right, when we are healthy, but you are not alone. We are praying here together, all of us, for you. If you see this prayer today or in the future, just hold on there. Just wait there. Be faithful and be gracious with yourself, with your physical body. We are going to pray for you tonight, and we will continue praying for each one, especially in these challenging moments. Okay? And if you have a loved one that is ill or sick, especially of COVID-19, this is the moment to pray. This is the space, and we will do it. Joanna de Angelis finalized the chapter saying, just let yourself be guided by him or her, by God. Seek attunement to His mercy and wisdom. Do the best you can, and leave a trace of light along the road you travel. We do our best, and the rest, God is going to take care of it. For such is the attitude of the one who has put himself or herself in the hands of God, and whom in God shall progress. This is the message for tonight, my friends. We're going to stop sharing so we can go to our prayer. All right? Let us be together in the virtual world, and spiritually speaking, let us connect. The more, the merrier. Okay? Jesus of Nazareth, once when you walk on earth, you told us that if we are reunited in your name, you will be with us. And now, at this very moment, we are reunited in your name. And we know, dear friend of our souls, we know that you are here with us. And we would like to ask you, humbly ask you, for healing of the spirit and healing of the body. If it's the right moment, and our brothers and sisters deserve it. Please heal their bodies, heal their illnesses, their diseases, and help them to have resignation, to accept this moment of trial and tribulation, so in the future they can reap the fruits of happiness, of encouragement and dedication, because they went through the depths of illness. We also want to ask you, Jesus, Doctor of the soul, the body and the mind, that you release the suffering of the mentally ill and alienated. They are in an unbalanced situation, and they are living in dark places of suffering, of anxiety, depression, and so many other situations that the human language is difficult to describe. We ask you, dear friend, dear doctor of the mind, bless them tonight with a lucid mind, with balance and equilibrium, with the clarity to think, so they can help themselves if they are not seeking for help, the professional help that they need. Help them to recognize and to accept their struggle, because the mental illness is also a task that we need sometimes to overcome our own vices or weaknesses from the past. Dear Jesus, friend and brother, since you are here with us, listening to our hearts, we pray for the needs of our families, the blood tie families, the spiritual families. We pray for the needs of our friends, our neighbors, our community, for the needs of all the people and members in our state, in our country, in our countries. We pray for those that are very close to us, that we call dear friends and that we get well along, so you may bless them with health, with abundance, with serenity and love. And we pray for those to whom we have difficulties in our relationship. They can be family members or co-workers, but we definitely haven't built yet or strengthened that harmonious relationship. We pray for them because sometimes they're ill or sick in their spirits and they're in need of understanding and comprehension. And because we are also souls navigating thousands of years in which we were enemies in the past, or we disagree for so many years, that now in these reincarnations we have the opportunity to be together, to heal these bonds, to strengthen these bonds, and it's difficult. We pray for them and we pray for us, so we could overcome and build a better relationship with them. Dear Jesus, we pray for all the first responders, for all of them that are still dealing with the immense responsibility of taking care of all the patients with COVID-19. We pray for them to have a clear mind, to have physical energy, and to continue diligently working in this mission that you gave to them. We pray for all the different workers in our community, for government, for police officers, for firefighters, for nurses, for mailmen, all the ones who deliver in our doors different packages, all of those who are still exposed, highly exposed to this virus that came to teach us something. We pray for them so they are protected and guided, and also for all the people that have living with us this pandemic and still they think that vaccination is not a good step towards a healthy community. We pray for them because sometimes it's just ignorance of the soul, ignorance of the mind. But you, Jesus, you have the love, the charisma, the tenderness to inspire them, to open up their minds and let them know that it is a social responsibility to get vaccinated. That is not only for us, but is for everyone. And if they are capable of, and the doctors give them the green light to receive vaccination, why not? We pray, Jesus, sweet and kind Jesus, for all of us in the Spiritist movement, so we continue being faithful to our call, and we continue learning, studying, and progressing, and helping to foster progress in our communities and in our societies, even though, as everyone, we suffer, we have the obstacles in our lives. Sometimes we feel defeated and frustrated. So help us not to fall into rebelliousness, and in the contrary, help us to be resignated to the desires of God. May the love of God, may your love, dear Master Jesus, extend like a light vibration in our homes, in our workplaces, in our schools and hospitals and public places, and bring health, health to the mind, health to the spirit, health to the body. We are very grateful because we know that every single prayer that we do with our heart is going to be answered. And we know this prayer is going to be answered. Thank you, Master Jesus, friend of us, and so be it. Thank you, friends, for being here. John, Abby, Daniel, again. Remember to drink your water. If you don't have it close to you, you can serve a glass of water and pray on top of the glass of water, and that's the medicine for the soul. We wish you all a very healthy, safe, and happy weekend, and see you next Friday. Thank you.